In order to get to the display functions, we need to go to our Generals tab under the Options menu again. So we'll come back to the Auto Pro Trader window, left click on the Options, yellow Options button here, and bring up the Options window. In the Options window, we'll go over to the General tab and the Display setting. Under the display setting, there's several features that you can change that have to do with the actual display in a couple different areas. Auto scrolling or auto scaling, leave this as false. It works just fine there. You don't need to change that. Break even dot color. There's a little yellow dot that comes up that when your break even targets are hit, so it moves your stop to break even. You can change that color here. You'll see that little dot on the screen from time to time, and it may be confusing, but just understand as long as your break even is set, that dot will come up once you hit break even. The font color for the numbers that go on your chart, the 1, 2, 3, 4, we discussed that in another video, can be changed right here. I usually leave mine in yellow. The font size is 25 set nominally. That should be a pretty good size, but you can certainly change that. And the form title. Now this title is good to change if you're going to run multiple Auto Pro Traders on different markets. You may come in here instead of Auto Pro Trader 7, let's say you're running oil, you might type in just oil on that, and that'll change up here at the top. You see now it says oil. Okay, and I'll just put it in back to Auto Pro Trader 7 and go back to options in general again, get back to our display. And text location, the numbers that come up can either be above the prices or below, and the text offset is by how far. I usually leave it where it's at. It works pretty well. So let's see an example of this coming up. We already talked about the name of the Auto Pro Trader window. You can change that, and it will stay changed each time you come back into this screen. Now if you put a new Auto Pro Trader up here, it will change back to the original name, and I'll show you how you can go internally and change this permanently. But let me just go first into the Options tab here. We're going to run the MACD real quick, and I'm going to show you these numbers and how they come up. Let's run through this a little bit quicker. Alright, there you go. There's your numbers. Now we discussed what these numbers were for and everything in a previous video, but you can see they're offset. And if I come back in here and I go to my sessions, my generals tab, display, and make my offset say 10, set this back to an earlier time again, and we'll rerun it. Now notice the difference. They're further off of the prices so you can see them better. You can also put them below the prices, so you have plenty of options as to what you want to do with those numbers. You can set the size a little bit smaller if you want, a little bit larger. Very, very flexible. Now if you want to come in here and set these permanently, you know you can set them here. So every time you bring your, as long as you're in and saved, every time you bring your chart back up with the strategy on it, it's going to have the settings that you set. However, if you want to set them so it loads up on any chart this way, you can right click on the chart, you can go to your strategies, and you can bring up the actual strategies tab right here. And if I click on the Auto Pro Trader 7, all of my internal settings are here. Now you need to shut this off. So you'll need to go to enabled and make it false and apply. Alright, now it's off, and you need to remember to turn this back on, or you'll be wondering what in the world's going on, okay, because this is the only place you can turn this on and off like this from here. So then I can go back up and I can find whatever settings that I want to change on all of my Auto Pro Traders. It takes a little bit of time. You've got to scroll up and locate the settings. There's a lot in here. That's why I don't usually work with this specific field, okay. Main controls, you can set that here. Alright, then once you have things set the way that you want, now I do notice that I set whatever I have set inside, and let me show you guys another little secret here. Whatever I have set inside, if you want to set your main controls permanently, there is another way to do this as a little bit of a secret. Let's go back to strategies. Let's make sure this shows up again. Whatever I want to set permanently, I can actually set right here in my ProTrader window. Alright, so for example, right now I have my automation on, and I know that when I first brought it up, that was turned off. Well, now that it's on in here, if I bring that other window back up, it's a nice feature. Highlight it, go to Label, right click, Set Default for Auto ProTrader 7. Just click that button, and that will set all of those settings on the back end in here permanently, so that when you go to another chart, those settings are there for you. Okay, that's it.